Welcome to the second recording for literature searching for your dissertation. This recording will focus on using library resources. You may be wondering where to start your literature search and which library resources are available to you whilst you are a student at Lancaster. So today I'll start with a refresher on using OneSearch, the library catalogue, and we'll then explore the Maths and Statistics subject guide, where you'll find links to maths-related databases and collections that the library subscribes to, before going on to briefly talk about open access resources. I'll also show you how to link Google Scholar, if you use it, to Lancaster University library subscriptions. So if we start with OneSearch. OneSearch is available through the library homepage, the student portal, iLancaster and Moodle. You can search for an item by author or by title, or you can search using keywords. OneSearch shows you what's available in print in the library and what's available electronically. And you can access e-resources directly through OneSearch. All you need is to log in using your username and password. I'll demo a search in OneSearch shortly. The Maths and Statistics subject guide is updated by the faculty librarians and includes links to library resources specific to maths and statistics, including ebook collections and library databases. It also has additional information such as video tutorials in using library resources and links to preprint archives, theses and dissertations databases, and much, much more. Again, I'll show you the guide later on in the recording. One of the key databases the library subscribes to here at Lancaster is MathSciNet. You can access this through the subject guide or directly through the database's A to Z list, which is available on the library homepage. The database is maintained by the American Mathematical Society, and as well as having advanced search features, you can browse by mathematics subject classification. So many of you may use Google Scholar to find academic material, and I'm not going to tell you just because I'm a librarian not to do this. I often use Google Scholar as a scoping when I'm doing a scoping exercise. So I'm going to run through some of my list of pros and cons of using Scholar now. Okay, so it's easy to use, it's free to use. It includes academic articles and papers and sections of ebooks as well. Often it's just part of the book that you can access. It has a useful cited by feature, which we mentioned in the last recording when using citation pearls. And you can link up to Lancaster subscriptions. So the QR code on the bottom of the screen will take you to a short video showing you how to do this. Do remember that not all publishers allow Scholar access to their publications. So you may miss out on some key papers if you're purely relying on Scholar. It doesn't have useful features like the mathematics subject classification in MathSciNet. It isn't easy to sort results and is quite limited in the way that you can refine the results in comparison to OneSearch and library databases. So finally, before I go to the library website to demo the resources I've mentioned, I'm briefly going to talk about using open access sources. Using repositories such as archive.org, the MIIS ePrints archive, or even Lancaster ePrints will give you access to papers that are going through the peer review process, which can be quite a lengthy process. So for stats students, you may be able to find cutting-edge research before it's available through a journal or conference. As I mentioned in the last recording, it can also be useful if the peer-reviewed article is behind a paywall. However, do be cautious. Remember, anyone can upload their work into a repository like Archive, and it may never get through the peer review process. If you find useful papers that are a little older, do check on OneSearch to see if you can access the final peer-reviewed version. Okay, so I'm now going to go online and demo OneSearch to start with. I'll show you around the subject guide and do a search in Maths iNet. Okay, so I'm on the library homepage. And as I said, you can access OneSearch through iLancaster or the student portal. So if I scroll down, I can see the OneSearch search box here. And I'm going to start by searching for textbooks in books and more for Bayesian statistics. So let's click on the drop-down menu and select books and more and search. You'll be prompted to log in when you go into OneSearch, and I do recommend that you log in because it gives you seamless access to the electronic resources available through OneSearch. And you also have access to your Eshelf, which I'll talk to you more about in a moment. Okay, so I can see I've got 381 records that meet my search terms here. And I searched in books and more. So for my first demo, I just want to show you how to find print books that are in the library. So the filters on the right-hand side that say refine my results, I can go to the show only and select available in the library. So now my list of results will be the textbooks that are available on the library shelves. Okay, so I'm going to go down to the book Understanding Computational Bayesian Statistics by Bolstad. And if I click on the title, I'll get the bibliographic information. So scrolling down, I can see everything I'll need for my reference, the author, the title, place of publication, publisher and creation date. I can then go up to this find and request section here, and it tells me that it's in the library, in the main collection, it's on A floor, and this is the class mark. So we've got AYNF893 in brackets B. At Lancaster, we have a system that's slightly different to a lot of systems if you use public libraries, for example. So if you are struggling to find any books on the shelf, do ask one of the library services advisors that are in the library building. There is one copy of this book, and it's in place on the shelf. If it was on loan, it would give you the date due back, and you would also get an option to request the book from here, and we would email you as soon as that book was ready to collect. So let me close that screen down. Okay, so I'm going to reset my filters, and this time I want to see what's available electronically. So I can select full text online, and my list of results now are all electronic books, so I can access these from wherever I am. Okay, so I want to find Bayesian Statistics, an Introduction by Lee, and this is the 4th edition. We have the earlier editions that will be in this list as well. So let's again click on the title, and I can see here it tells me view online, and it gives me a link for the full text, and it's available in 2 of our ebook collections. So I'm going to select ebook Central Academic Complete. As you're looking through ebooks, you'll come across ebooks that are in different platforms. So they may look slightly different as you come into this page. So you may have different options for reading online, downloading the book, downloading the chapter. This page tells me that I can download the PDF. I can read online. It says if I wanted to download, I can download up to 98 pages. So this is because of copyright restrictions, usually around a chapter or 10% of the book. If you select read online, you get more functions than you would do if you download the PDF. So the toolbar at the top allows me to make notes on the book, to highlight text, to increase the font size, and there's other options up there. I've also got the search within the book. So if I type in Markov and search, it will tell me the sections of the book where that term is mentioned. And if I click on that section on the left-hand side, it will take me to the page in the book. And in some ebooks, it will highlight the word that you're looking for. This ebook does, oh yeah, here we go. So we've got the word is highlighted. Okay, so I'm just going to close down that screen and go back into my OneSearch. Staying on this page, I have some options at the top here. Okay, so I can export the citation here to BibTeX, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about managing the references you find in the next recording, but that will take this citation directly into BibTeX. So all the elements are there that you'll need for a reference. If I close this page down, I mentioned your Eshelf. Okay, so if I want to save this book to come back to at a later date, I can click on the small pin. The pin will then take this record into my Eshelf in the top right. And from here, I can see all of the books and journal articles that I've saved into my Eshelf. And you can see here that I've added some labels on some of these records. So if I add a label here and add a new label, and just save that, you can now see on the right the list of all the labels that I've added, and I can go to any of those topics. So I'm going to go to active learning because that's got the most results in there, and you can see that that's an easy way to filter all of the items I've got in my Eshelf. So a good way of managing your references. Okay, so that was searching for books and more. I'm going to give you a short activity now, so there'll be a Microsoft form appear in a moment. Okay, so I've got my title, Bayesian Statistics, and this time I'm going to select articles and more. So I'm going to search for the term within journal articles and conference papers, and let's see what number of results we've got. So we have over 258,000 results. So I would at this point think about my topic and start to refine that search, think about additional concepts. So I'm going to go into my advanced search on the right hand side and add some additional terminology. So let's pop some other words in here. So non-parametric, and I can add another row. And here I'm going to put Markov chains. So that's there. And I'm going to search. Okay, I still returning over 8,000 results. Again, I'm going to go to the refine my results on the right hand side of the screen, and I can have a look through the filters there. So I want to look for articles and conference papers under resource type. So click on show more, select articles and conference proceedings before I apply my filter. When we were looking at inclusion and exclusion, we also talked about date ranges. I'm not going to add a date range here, but if you were looking for something in perhaps in the last 10 years that has been published in that time frame, you can change the dates. Another useful way of refining is to look at the subject headings, so the subject headings that have been assigned to these 8,000 results, and narrow down by those the headings. OneSearch searches across multiple disciplines, so that you may find this is useful. So I want to refine using, let's just scroll down, Monte Carlo method and Markov chains, and I can then apply my filters. Okay, so I've got still over 1,000 results. I'm going to scroll down my list now and choose number 2. So it's an article by Hartig, statistical inference. And I'm going to click on the title of the article. And again, I will get the bibliographic information for this article and also a description. And in OneSearch, the description is the abstract, so the summary of the article. So I can see here whether it's going to be useful for me. Also, may be useful to look at the subject headings assigned to this article and see if there's any terminology there that you haven't picked up already in your reading. Maybe make a note of that and you could add that to your search. And then if I go up to look for the link for full text, this article is available in a database called Wiley Online Library Journals. And I can click through to that database. And what you're looking for here, and again, the platforms that differ between journals, look for either a download PDF or a download full text, or here I have a PDF option. So that should give me the full text of the article. And from here, I can download the article to my laptop, save to cloud storage, or however you're going to manage saving your references. Okay, so I'm now back at the library homepage and I'm going to show you the Maths and Statistics subject guide. So scroll down till you see a first row of tiles, and here you can see a subject guide icon with the brain, which again you'll see on the student portal. This then gives you an alphabetical list of the subject guides that are available. So we can go down to the Maths and Statistics guide and select Maths and Statistics again. It may be that you want to search on other guides and those are freely available to you. It may be that you're searching in the discipline of healthcare. You may want to look at the Business and Management guide. So like I said, you can access any of those guides. I'm not going to go through all of the guide with you, but if you haven't already looked at the guide, have a look through. You can see the tabs on the left hand side. So Finding Books and Ebooks has the ebook collections, and there's some other resources here that you may want to look at. I'm going to go straight to the Finding Journals and Conference Proceedings tab, and I'm going to scroll down to see the recommended Maths and Statistics databases. You can also see the large interdisciplinary databases here as well, which includes Web of Science and Scopus, which I won't go into today. But some of the tips I've shown you in the last recording may help you to search in there as well. Okay, so today I'm going to go into the MathSciNet database, the American Mathematical Society version, because you can see there's two versions here. So let's click on that link. Again, going through the subject guide will give you seamless access to MathSciNet. You won't need to log in separately. So I'm going to search for my terms that I've been using throughout. So we have Bayesian statistics and Markov process. And I'm going to change the field. So here we've got search terms. We want to search within the field of review text for both of those. And that's my personal choice. But that means that the database will search for those terms in the body of the review. And then we can click on search. So I've got 103 results here. And I want to, let me just, before I open a record, you can see here it's sorted by newest first, but you can sort the list by oldest first, by ranking of citations, so the highest ranked first, and also by author. So I want to look at the article by Gonzalez, and from here I can click onto the article for the full text. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so again, this has taken me out of the database into Springer link. And here I've got the option to download the PDF. Okay. In this format, you can see the sections very clearly. So it may be actually you want to look at the abstract and the introduction and then go through to concluding remarks to decide whether you want to read this in full. Okay, so let me close that page down. There isn't currently a way of signing in to this database to be able to save your records in the database. But you can, like as we said, if you download the text and then save that into your own record system and make sure you've got that full reference available to you. Okay, so also in this database, you've got a way of searching for the maths classification. So if we go up to free tools on the top and right hand side of the screen, so this allows me to select a mathematics subject classification. So if I wanted to find the classification for Bayesian inference, I can click through and see the main classification. So I know that it's going to be under statistics. And if I search then, I get the full list of all the classifications under the under 62 statistics. So I've looked through this list and I found that Bayesian inference comes under 62 F15. Okay, so I'm just going to copy that now. And I'm going to go back to my home page. And I'm going to search for all papers classified with 62F15 as my primary number. So you can see here it's got MSc primary. And then I can search. And we have got over 5,000 results that have the main classification as 62F15. Again, you can search within the results as you can do in other databases or like the ebook collections, and you've also got the refine your results options down the left hand side. So you can see here we could look at any pending reviews, we could look at the institutions or look for particular authors that are key in our field. You can search within particular journals. So if there are journals that your supervisors recommended, you might want to select those, and also by year. Okay, so I'm going to put another activity into a Microsoft form, which will appear shortly. So finally, for this recording, go to the literature searching workbook